All right, so I just got done making a video that was more about the Veloster, more plans about that. So this video is going to be more on my plans for life. So to start, I want to make a progress video. Kind of compare where I was a couple months ago. So May 7th, obviously, I lost the car. May 7th, I lost, my job. May 7th, I lost, during that time, I lost my car, my job. I had no money. I lost just about everything. The only thing I had on me was the clothes on my back and, my phone and phone charger and my guitar. That is the only stuff that I had. That was 3 months ago, I believe. That was early May. Now it's middle of August, so slightly over 3 months ago now. It's crazy how time flies, but I want to, like I said, compared to now, I bought a brand new phone in cash. I've got a new car, and now I'm in the process. I have, a job. I do have plenty of money now. I bet, and let me just, another thing that I didn't have 3 months ago, and not only did I lose my car, the job, I had no money. I had no friends because both of my friends were just kind of, nobody was talking to each other. Everybody was kind of ghosted out in a way. But now me and Jacob are hanging out full time, as best friends again. I'd say I made a lot of progress. I think the most thing, or the thing that I'm mostly proud of right now, is just, it's just the fact that I've actually accomplished what I have. A lot of videos on this channel, mainly if I go more into detail, more specifically, the what's it called? Like the moving to Michigan update, or the update you've been waiting for, finally moving to Minneapolis, or the whole Alaska thing, and this and that, Milwaukee, whatever. I've had a lot of phases. I feel like that was just me trying to cope, to be honest. But everything that I've said that was going to happen a couple months ago, they've happened. And they are happening as we speak. I'm in the process now. A couple months ago, I was already looking at houses and apartments around here. Kind of, not really. But I was just kind of saying that I was looking, but I really wasn't, because I knew I didn't have the job, I didn't have the money, I didn't have this and that for one. But now I do. And Jacob is moving with me. He's kind of set that in stone. But like I made, I said in the other video, nothing is for sure. According to him, it's set in stone. He's moving. But for me, like I said, the new Matthew mindset of 2025, I'm gonna let things come to me. I'm not gonna ask Jacob to come move with me. I'm not gonna force him. I don't really care. I'm gonna act like I don't care. And I'm gonna go get the stuff that I need for me. And then if he needs to come, he can come on. I feel like that's the best way to do it. I'd like him to get a better job, obviously, when he gets down here, maybe at like Tiffin's, or maybe even Temper Sealy, whatever. I don't really care. I wouldn't prefer him to work at Sunshine, but I will say that my allergies is kind of messed up this morning, but I guess you win some and you lose some. But here recently, I've had nothing but wins, and I've had nothing but comebacks and victories and a much better life. there's always going to be one, and I know I said that he would, never be mentioned. But I've had to let Jonathan go. It's whatever. And like I said in that one video, that it was definitely needed. It was time. I've been told my whole life that I needed to make better friends, or I needed a better friend. Everyone's always told me how good of a friend Jacob was. I never really heard that about. I actually never really is not even. I shouldn't even use those words. I never heard those things about any time I hung out with Jonathan. My dad didn't like Jonathan. Other people didn't like Jonathan. My grandma, my mom, everybody, nobody liked him. And I always kind of stuck up for Jonathan, especially when people would, say those things. I was like, well, maybe you just don't know him. I've known him for a long time. He's actually a pretty good friend. He just has a lot of problems, and I'm not going to sit here and blame. I'm not going to have any hate towards him at all. There's no need. And this is another thing, the reason that I say that it was needed. And yes, I know that he's ignoring my messages still after, 2.5 months, 2 months already that I've talked to him and all the band stuff. That was over 2 months. But there's no need for me to hold some sort of resentfulness or resent or hate towards him, because I know that he's confused. And I mean, he has no friends, especially now that he, kind of pushed his only friend out of his life. And, there's just no need for me to have some sort of hate towards him, because he's got a lot to figure out. And another thing, and honestly, I wouldn't say it's as bad with Jacob, but I can definitely see that me and Jacob are definitely we definitely have different mindsets. But it was really noticeable with me and Jonathan. Just about every single time that we did something, it was never fun. Yes, I mean, well, I guess there was some times that were fun, but it was never consistently fun. We would have good moments. We would have very, very bad moments where he would do something that was just mind-blowing. Like, into him, it was nothing. It was just like a brush off the shoulder. It wasn't nothing at all. And to him, I was kind of crashing out over little stuff. But no. He would always, and this is the reason I know that that's not right and it's not true, because if that was true, then it would happen with other people. But it don't. It was only with Jonathan. And it wasn't really like that. I mean, it was kind of like that with Ryan. I feel like Ryan really grew out of that. I mean, he still has that tone and mentality that I hate. But it's mainly his tone, and it's simply, with me and Ryan, it's simply that we completely grew apart. Two completely different people. We used to be the same, and then now we are two completely different people. We literally couldn't differ anymore. And with me and Jonathan, it's not, I guess it didn't work out. Like, if it was a couple, week or couple month, maybe even a year friendship, it's kind of, I can see how it could be easy to kind of just walk off of or walk off from. But I've known him since I was 12 years old. I turned 20, at the end of this year, or actually in a couple months. 4 months. And I can see how it could be kind of easy, but I've known him for so long. And and this is what I told Jacob. Jacob's he said a couple days ago, he was like, well, I told you from the start to try to just leave him alone, kind of stay away from him because he wasn't a good influence, and you know how he is. But there's no reason to look at people like that. And that's another thing that Jonathan never realized is how much bad stuff people would always say about him, and I would always kind of take up for him. But, you know, and this is another reason I knew it was not meant to be. It was just something I never agreed on that he did. Jonathan would never look at the good. He would never look for the good in people. Anytime, you know, it was always something. It was always something, bro. I mean, it was just never good vibes. There were some times where we had temporary fun. You know, one night, and this was a while ago. You know, and this wasn't even like the last. There was nothing crazy. There was nothing that even happened. You know, 2 months ago when he quit, when he kind of just walked off and ghosted again. There was nothing that even happened. But I'm glad that he did it because I didn't want to have to do it. That is probably the best way I can put what I'm thinking. Is I'm glad that he walked away so that I didn't have to do it. Because there's no need to, you know, I don't know. Like I said in the other video with me and Jacob, when we're friends, or when, you know, we're friends all the time. You know, we don't have any bad, weird moments. We stick up for each other most of the time. We have more fun. All the time. Not like me and Jonathan where we would go to Tupelo, go eat somewhere, have a great time, but something would just happen. And it would kill the whole vibe. And anytime the littlest thing happened, he would be like, oh, you know, now, if I could have it the way that I want it right now, obviously that's another reason why I say you win some and you lose some. All good things come with a loss. I've said that. I believe that. It's very, very true. And this is another prime example. All of the good things that are happening in my life is so much better than what it was a couple months ago. I could never go back to that life. My life is just so much better. I'm not worrying about a thing. I'm just getting up and going to, you know, work every day, hanging out with Jacob, you know, the car now, just doing stuff. Yeah, it's great, but it came with a loss, losing Jonathan as a friend. And, you know, it's whatever. But at the end of the day, I feel like I want to say some things that really made our friendship stick out when we were, you know, the times that we were friends. Obviously, he's had a lot of problems with keeping friends. I wonder why. LOL. But the times that we were friends, you know, and the reason that I say the times that we were friends was because it was very inconsistent. We would be friends for a couple of months, you know, then something would happen for a week or two. There was times where he was like, oh, well, I was going to block you, but I guess I just changed my mind. I was going to ghost you, but I changed my mind. Okay. You know, there was times like the apartment era last winter, you know, 2024, early 2025 era, working at Redeem Bio at the pellet place. You know, there was a lot of problems there, but I was very content, I guess, but it came with some losses. That car was stressing me out to the max. And yeah, I'm not stressing about anything anymore, but I don't have Jonathan to hang out with. And that's another reason. And anyway, what I was going to say about if I could have it my way is, like I said, I've been hanging out with Jacob, but Jacob also lives all the way in Pontotoc. That's an hour and 20-minute drive. And yeah, obviously I'm about to have a car, so it doesn't really matter too much, now. But I wish, Jonathan lives like 5 minutes. 5 minutes from where I live. I can make it there in 5 minutes. 6 at the most. But I'll never... I know I'll see him again. I mean, he's not in the position to move away anytime soon. I don't want to move away anytime soon until I get my stuff together. Then obviously I'm going to Vancouver, Washington. But that's like law enforcement era. That's, still a couple years away because I'm not even old enough yet. And there's some stuff that I got to do and want to do before I'm ready. But, it's just like, I don't know why, and it's kind of new to me. I've never had a friend kind of be like that. I never thought of him doing that, or like, but he's a certain type of person. And now that I know, or not now that I know, I've always known that, but yeah, it kind of makes sense. I want to have a talk with him. That is it. Just one simple talk. And no, that talk is not going to lead to me trying to even, restore a friendship. I don't really care too much anymore because I've got to worry about myself and worry about, my friend that I do have that does care. But I want to have a talk to see where his head's at, what his plans are. But I don't think that I'll ever be friends with him again. And I'm I'm at a weird point in life where, you have Jacob. That's my best friend. That's the friend that knows a decent amount about my life. But I'll say this, though. The only person that knows how crazy my life actually was and has any idea of kind of the stuff that's happened in the last couple of years is Jonathan. Jacob doesn't fully know everything yet. I don't even think there's some stuff that I've even filled him in with. And it's just, And obviously, like I was going to say, I have buddies at work. But that's work, bro. You go to work, you see them, you say, hey, what's up? You make fun of each other. You have a good time. You work together, whatever. You hate each other for a second, whatever. But those are not people that you're going to hang out with, outside of work. I mean, it is, but it's not. But I've never wanted to make new friends. Because there's so much that's happened in my life. And there's, I want people that already knows who I am. I don't want to go find a new random friend. Because I want somebody that's already known how my life has kind of been. And there's not very many people that know. There's a couple people that I do want to try to, maybe relink with. We have the fair in 2 months. We have the car show in about 3 weeks. That's going to be fun. And that's another reason why I'm trying to get the stuff done for the car fast. Because the car show coming up. It's August 9th. already. I've always had this thing where I've always kind of like thought back on, each year since 2020. Like, oh, what did I do in 2021? Oh, I know. What did I do in 2022? That was such a great year. Oh, I know. 2023, I know. 24, I know. 25, I know. But it's almost to the point where we're 4 months away from 2026. And that is so many years away from 2020 now. I mean, 2018 was nearly 8 years ago. That is just stupid to think about. All of like the childhood memories and stuff, like they're forever just a memory. And I try to look at it. I know this is kind of like a weird video, but I try to look at it like to know or kind of be thankful that I have those memories. Not be sad because they're gone, but be happy because like they're, I do have those memories. But, it's really just been a pretty chill, like, last couple of weeks. Ever since I started back to work, just the progress has been flowing in. I mean, I'm just ready for this car, bro. It makes me mad that I have to wait. I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of, like, I want the car now. Like, 4 days has never seemed so long. Well, is it 4 days? Sunday morning, Monday morning, Tuesday morning. Yeah, 4 days. Exactly, actually. Sunday morning to Wednesday morning. I'm just ready for, the car. The stuff that comes with the car. And I'm ready for my own place. Like one of the most saddest, I would say the apartment era last year was good. I had my good friend at the time living with me. We split everything. Everything was good, 50-50. There was some slightly weird times, but a lot of it was kind of was because of what was going on the side in the background with me. My grandma and the car and all that, the job situations. But that is coming up again very, very soon. And I'd like to have a house by October. Or like October at the latest. Probably maybe September. But I'm going to say October I'd like to have a house. And, I'm excited. I'm grateful. I'm satisfied right now. And I can't let, I can't let anything kind of make me think that I'm not satisfied. And I mean, there's nothing that it has. Like, I'm not in those, days where I used to say, oh, well, I can't let the bad days that say or determine and trick me into thinking I have a bad life. Because I haven't had any bad days. There's been a couple rough days at work, but I mean, they haven't been bad days. I don't know. I'm grateful. But I guess that's just about all I can make. I guess I can make just like a little summary. So I've got my OnePlus 13 now. Got the earbuds, paid cash for both. I've got the car, I just got to go pick it up Wednesday. A lot of mods and a lot of stuff coming towards that thing. I'm probably going to have like $5,000 put into that car, $6,000. Jacob is going to be moving, I believe. He says he is. I'm not counting on it. But house is coming, apartment, whatever. Place, I'm going to say just my own place coming soon. In about another, I'm going to say another month to a month and a half. The weather's going to be cooler. Because, I mean, it's been... I would say it's been arguably hot since about April. Or May. I mean, it was in like the high 80s in May. So I would say May, it's been hot since May. So May, June, July, August. So about 4 months it's been, kind of hot. So, it's finally, getting to that time. Plus being on third shift. Because first, before anything, it stays the same temperature during the day. But it's cooler at night. And I'm glad about that. But that's kind of the summary. I said this in the last video, but this video is going to be my last video. Because I don't have another video to make until I get my car. There's just nothing else. There's no point. There's nothing else that I have to make. So, I own everything. I can count on it. Right after you get done watching this video, the steering wheel is going to be blue. I'm going to have a touchscreen. I'm going to have a push to start right here. And I'm going to be driving my car on the way to get my tag. In 3, I'm going to switch from right here to my car in 3, 2, 1.